Anytime around here, everyone knows there's always a risk of fire. For the last handful of days, we had 50 to 60 mile an hour constant winds and a low relative humidity. The conditions were just perfect for this fire.
Tonight, firefighters racing against time to battle the largest wildfire in Texas history.
Ranchers say the fires have killed thousands of cattle and are desperate for donations of hay and feed for their surviving animals.
Tuesday night, I didn't know how many cattle I'd have left. Unfortunately, this is a third wildfire to completely burn us out.
The Smokehouse Creek fire swelling to more than 1 million acres, scorching an area large enough to stretch from New York to Philadelphia.
The threat of wildfire has come way too frequent, and it's changing our way of life here.
The people of the Panhandle are resilient, and kind of when tragedy strikes, we band together. It's going to be a long process, but we'll get through it, and we'll come out better on the end of it.
Since I've been the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension agent here 11 years, we've had 4 major fires. I thought the one in 17 was the granddaddy fire. This is the granddaddy of all granddaddies. Over 1 million acres, almost 1.1 million acres, have burned right here in Texas. A lot of ranchers said they've never seen as much summer grass here as we went into the winter with. That stuff is like standing gasoline. It's just fuel. And so then when there's a big wind and low humidity and some kind of a spark, suddenly you've got a wildfire.
On February 26, 2024, massive wildfires ignited across the Texas Panhandle. Over the next 36 hours, multiple state agencies were called in to assist with the rapidly deteriorating situation.
Disaster response is really a kind of foreign concept to a lot of folks. TDEM is involved in all phases of disasters, from the preparedness phase all the way through our mitigation plans. We get paid every day to wake up and plan for somebody's worst day. We're part of the A&M system, and because of that, we have a wider network to collaborate with to bring a broad range of services and resources to local jurisdictions. We are in the communities, and so are our partner agencies. So we have people who are able to get tied in from the get-go. There isn't a major phone call to be made because they're already there.
While TDEM coordinates the overall state of Texas response, multiple Texas A&M agencies are vital to the disaster response. The Texas A&M Forest Service handles fire mitigation efforts in conjunction with local first responders, while Texas A&M AgriLife Extension serves as a trusted source in the community through county extension agents and the specialized Disaster Assessment Recovery Unit.
We have 250 offices in 254 counties, so we're serving all those counties. They've got a county agent, and that county agent is embedded with that community. When the fire first initially started, we had folks that were monitoring that, and it has impacted a lot of the natural grazing areas, the cattle that are being raised in this part of the state. We're looking at how can we go in and bring in resources, hay, cubes, those kinds of things, to help those producers with the cattle that have survived the wildfire.
So currently we have animal supply points that are distributing commodities for livestock owners. This warehouse that we're in is an animal supply point that supplies not only hay, but feed product to farmers and ranchers that are affected by the disaster at hand.
Well, the agriculture community is a strong community. I think it was the day after the fire, there was already a supply drop zone that had been put together. And the incoming supplies that we've been getting are above and beyond what anybody could ever expect.
I tell our guys, you're going to meet people on their worst day. And then you're also going to be people that are stepping up to help folks on their worst day. And we see neighbors from 5 miles away to 500 miles away sending stuff here or sending themselves, donating their resources, their money, their time to help people recover. Our job is to support that local county agent as they're working to support their community. Because after the disaster's over and the recovery begins, we'll be helping them. But it's going to be that local agent working to make sure that these communities can come back and they can thrive and begin to process and prosper again.
Texas A&M Task Force 1 was also deployed to the Panhandle to not only conduct search and rescue operations, but to assist with documenting and assessing damage.
The conditions at the Smokehouse Creek Fire were really challenging for us. When you arrive to something like that, it really looks like a moonscape. There were some flames still happening. We knew that we were looking for people who had not survived. And so we were using our human remains detection canines to search every structure there to ensure that no one had perished and that we could account for every single person who had been impacted by that disaster. We are also documenting the damage level. It's important for a local community to know a dollar amount of what that destruction looks like. And that starts with us going through and assessing damage. It might seem like that's not really a search and rescue thing to do, but the truth is, it's a very high-risk environment.
The Texas A&M Veterinary Emergency Team is often deployed alongside Texas A&M Task Force 1 to provide support for the search and rescue animals, as well as assistance to local animals in need of care.
Anytime Task Force puts dogs into the theater, particularly in a burn, we really worry about their pads because pad injury is important and can be devastating, if not career-ending. And so we deploy with them to serve as their force protection for the canines. So we were here with a small team. Literally, it became very apparent to everyone that animals on the side of the ranches, on the side of all of the people that were losing their livelihood were going to need veterinary assistance, that the local veterinarians were not going to be able to assist with everything that was going to be needed. TDEM immediately asked us to send the rest of our resources up, and that next day, a second set of our team members came up. Every deployment is different. Every deployment is its own thing. We've been to several fires, not one of them has been the same. But if we can be here to help them through this really horrible days and weeks, that's the first step to getting help and hope to them.
People often wonder what a land-grant university system does and why are they so important. This is what a land-grant university system does. And our job is to work together out in the field with communities just like this to make sure there are no unmet needs that these communities have. We've got a tremendous amount of resources here in the Panhandle. We'll jump on any new fire that starts. As we move past property protection and conservation, we'll move into recovery. That's the human aspect of this, to continue to find housing, short-term and long-term, for those impacted residents. That we will do everything we can to make sure that our ag producers in this area have the state and federal resources that they need.
The support from Texas A&M, the state of Texas, the American people, everybody has been tremendous. It's really humbling to see the goodness in humanity. It's going to be a long process, but we'll get through it and we'll come out better on the end of it.
The people here are tough. There's no question in my mind this area will get back on its feet. And I hope that the work that we've done here and will do here makes a difference for generations to come.